Hello everyone. Firstly, we look at this study on the sleeping hours and reaction time. So in the study, researchers recorded sleeping hours of 10 subjects. We labeled them as 1 through 10. And then, when the subjects got up in the next morning, they were given a reaction test to measure their reaction times to some accident. And we have the data in the table. And we also will have some summary of the data for the sleeping hours. The mean is equal to 6.49 hours, and the sample standard deviation is equal to 1.68 hours. And for the reaction times, the mean is equal to 5.34 seconds, and the sample standard deviation is equal to 2.72 seconds. Okay, so in the first part of this problem, we want to use the formula for the correlation coefficient, find the correlation coefficient between the sleeping hours and the reaction time in this study. So remember that the correlation coefficient is denoted by the small letter r, and it is given by the summation from all the subjects from 1 to n. Then the first part is xi minus x bar over the standard deviation sx times yi minus y bar over the standard deviation of quantity y. And in this setting, we can let x to be the sleeping hours, and we can let y to be the reaction time. And here, because we have n distinct subjects, we have 10 distinct subjects, we can know that the n here is equal to 10. Okay? So now we can plug in the numbers into this formula. And because the mean sleeping hours is equal to 6.49, and the standard deviation of the sleeping hours is 1.68. And then for the reaction time, the average reaction time is equal to 5.34, and the standard deviation of the reaction time is 2.72 seconds. And we sum from 1 to 10. And if we plug in the numbers and use the calculator, we can find that the correlation coefficient R is equal to negative 0.94. So the sleeping hours and the reaction times have the negative linear correlation. And also we can find that this correlation, negative 0.94, is close to negative 1. So the linear relation between the two variables are very strong. Okay, so this is the first part, and then let us go to the second portion. In the second part, we want to find the regression line between the sleeping hours and the reaction time in this study. So remember, the regression line we study in this course is in the form of y equal to b1 times x plus b0. So here, b1 is the slope, and B0 is the intercept of the line with the y-axis. And here, x can be treated as the sleeping hours, and y can be treated as the reaction time, as what we said in the first part. So this slope, B1, is given by R, the correlation coefficient, times the standard deviation of y over the standard deviation of x. And again, here y is the sleeping hours and x is the the y is the reaction times and the x is the sleeping hours. So we can plug in the numbers, that is negative 0.94, which we find in the first part, times the standard deviation of the reaction time, that is 2.72, divided by the standard deviation of the sleeping hours, that is 1.68. And by using the calculator, we can find the slope B1 is equal to negative 1.52. And then we want to find the intercept, that is B0. Remember, B0 is given by the mean of the reaction time, y bar, minus B1 slope times the average of the sleeping hours, that is x bar. So if we plug in the numbers, we will have y bar equal to 5.34 seconds minus B1, that is negative 1.52, times the average of the sleeping hours, that is 6.49. And if we do the calculation by the calculator, we can find B0 is equal to 15.20. And finally, if we combine the result of B1 and B0 together, we know the regression line is given by y, that is the reaction time, equal to B1, that is negative 1.52 times x, that is the sleeping hour, plus B0, that is 15.20. So this is our result of the regression line in this study between the sleeping hours and the reaction time. Okay, so this is the second part. Okay, next, suppose we have one more subject, that is subject 11, obeyed the result of this study. And if he had a 8-hour long sleep, then we want to find what is his predicted reaction time in the reaction time test. Okay, so remember we have the regression line in the second part that is given by, I will rewrite it here, that is y equal to 15.20 plus negative 1.52 times x. And here y is the reaction time and x is the sleeping hours. And here we have sleeping hour equal to 8 for subject 11, so we plug in. That is 15.20 plus negative 1.52 times 8. So if we do the calculation, we have its predicted reaction time is equal to 3.04 seconds. So remember to write down your unit, that is seconds. And now suppose his actual reaction time is 2.98 seconds. Then we want to find the residue of this subject 11. Remember, the residue is equal to the observed y minus the predict y. Okay, I will use PRE to represent predicted So basically, we observe the reaction time of this subject is equal to 2.98. And our predicted reaction time is equal to 3.04. So the residue of subject 11 is equal to negative 0.06 second. Okay, so this is another formula you have to know for your midterm.